Xiuxianjie, who is proficient in the art of divination, is a cute girl. The destined person she had been waiting for a century finally appeared. Unexpectedly, the originally cold and abstinent prophet was forced by me. In his shocked gaze, the inner alchemy that had been silent for 100 years. Xiaoyan, the one who can make his innate Ziyin inner pill go berserk? Only his destined dual cultivation partner can do that. Just now, he received a message from the Book of Heaven. The Shen immediately came to the Book of Heaven City. Breaking news! The 3-year period has come. The Book of Heaven's master. The war has started again. As soon as he entered the city, the Shen heard many latest news about the Book of Heaven. But when he looked at the heavenly book city, he felt an inexplicable sense of familiarity. This is exactly the Lulin city 100 years ago, but the change was too big. Just then, a small paper crane suddenly poked out from his arms. During your retreat, Tianshu was temporarily stored, which caused constant disputes in Tianshu City. 那些 royal family didn't start retreating. They were unable to retrieve the Book of Heaven. They could only advertise the message of the Book of Heaven to distract the various factions in the martial arts world. When the Yeshin couldn't help but sigh, the little girl has really grown up. But before Yeshin could continue to ask, Luanyan left a message again, Master. To retrieve the Book of Heaven, must return immediately and never look at other women, saying that the paper crane in front of him was burned up. Seeing the paper crane burned to ashes in an instant, Ya Shen was scared into a cold sweat. Just then, a woman eating noodles nearby attracted his attention. With her strange clothes, the Shen immediately knew she was not an ordinary person. Thinking of this, he also asked politely, "May I know your name?" Seeing a handsome man, Kiao Kiao immediately put it down. I quickly replied, "My surname is Xiao. I'm Xiao Kiao Kiao, known as the god of calculation, Xiaoyan Tian. He is proficient in divination. Whether it's seeking cause or future, he will answer. He answers all questions." The Shen didn't think much of it. He came here originally to find something. But just to be safe, he still wanted to check the code word. Don't. Zhao Kiao Kiao suddenly felt angry and speechless. She replied subconsciously, "You're a fool." But the Shen was overjoyed. The code word really matched. Even though Kiao 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 was already angry and started to drive the Shen away, but he thought it was a hidden stake retreating to advance. Repeatedly testing. Without waiting for Zhao Kiao Kiao to continue speaking, the Shen directly pushed her against the wall and confessed, "I'm indeed here to find the Book of Heaven." However, Zhao Kiao Kiao suddenly felt weak, was shocked and stunned. The physical touch is like a hunter, and the thick and mellow feeling inside. Only his destined son can cause the runaway of Zian's inner alchemy. The confused Shen, he thought he hurt her because of his strength. Just about to let go and be polite, he was pulled again. Suddenly, blushing, Zhao Cao shouted, "King covers tiger." "I'm 250. I've been waiting for a long time. I'll take you to find the Book of Heaven." Seeing the Shen being forcibly pulled away, The person waiting in the corner was puzzled. Meanwhile, the Heavenly Book Conference had reached its climax. The Shen wanted to take the book secretly, but he didn't expect so many people. But when he saw the wordless book of heaven on the ring, he became more and more calm. As long as you have sex with me, I will help you retrieve the book on the ring. Until this time, Xiuxianjie realized that the Shen had disappeared. In public, he is a master of celestial divination. But behind the scenes, a nymphomaniac girl who turned into a pervert when seeing me. Even when they first met, Xiuxianjie wanted to elope with me. The Shen. I accidentally triggered the Ziyin inner alchemy in Xiuxianjie. She has decided that I was the destined partner for her. But at this time, the Shen only cared about retrieving the book and has no intention of falling in love. He was about to get the book of heaven. But unfortunately, he was discovered in the end. He wanted to sneak and get the book and retreat immediately. But this sneaky behavior immediately aroused Wei Tianheng's dissatisfaction. After Zhuangji sect fell 100 years ago, the mainland was in constant strife. The originally weak Tingchao sect, a genius emerged. He defeated everyone in the world. And this genius, who has mastered both martial arts and techniques, is Wei Tianheng. Instantly integrated, the ring was shrouded in Wei Tianheng's aura of power. Seeing this, Zhao Qiu hesitated and immediately decided to save the Shen. But when the dust settled, everyone found that the Shen was unscathed. Until this time, people began to doubt the identity of the night god. However, Wei Tianheng, who is naturally combative, but became more excited. Before everyone could see clearly, he launched a fatal counterattack again. Unfortunately, he faced the holy body of the Shen. He was doomed to fail. Seeing that his two attacks were ineffective, Wei Tianheng also became nervous immediately. On the other side, Night God also realized he might need to go through the martial arts process. Unexpectedly, he just wanted to counterattack. Wei Tianheng had already rushed in front of him. Facing this sudden change, he was also kicked away directly. Fortunately, with his strong physical strength, he finally landed safely. His legs were unfortunately stuck in the ground. While he was busy pulling his legs out, Gu Tianheng's attack fell again. Seeing that you still have the courage to come on stage, I'll give you another kick. The next second, Wei Tianheng kicked the Shen who was buried in the ground. He kicked him hard. Instantly, the Shen was buried in the rubble. Wei Tianheng thought the Shen was dead. He focused on a new opponent. But at this moment, the Shen stood up again. In an instant, the intact Shen gave him a headbutt. The next second, Wei Tianheng burst into tears and was directly knocked out of incontinence. The seemingly harmless brain crack can instantly empty the air around. The air around him. With just one hit, Wei Tianheng was knocked unconscious. He didn't know whether he was alive or dead. Seeing that no one came to stop him, he said easily that he would take the book of heaven. But being stimulated, hearing this, Wei Tianheng woke up again. Knowing he was no match, He still didn't want to give up. He could only go crazy in an instant. In order to increase his power, he ignored the damage. He swallowed the Hanyuan pearl directly. The next second, the terrifying thunder power erupted from his body. Under this powerful aura, even the sky's thunderclouds began to slowly gather. Unexpectedly, he really dared to catalyze the Hanyuan pearl to summon. Most one incense stick. The radius of 100 miles will be scorched by lightning. Feeling the power of the thunder, the Shen also felt a bit of trouble. After casually pushing aside the thunder, complaining that the thunder could not be summoned casually, the clothes he hadn't been dirty for 100 years, and the corners were burned. He had no choice but to be more serious. He interrupted the lightning spell. He could test his physical strength at this time. Suddenly, 2 spherical shadows fell from the sky, blocking his view. When he reacted, only a piece of milky bandage was left in front of him. The girl was originally the only prophet in the world. She was proficient in the art of celestial divination, known as Xiaoyi Xin. But when she saw me privately, she was a super lesbian with insatiable desires. Because the Tianji line is against the will of heaven, there is not much time left for him to resist the catastrophe. If she still can't find the destined son in her destiny, he will have to face the terrifying horror. But under the thunder, everything will be annihilated. Zhao Qiao passed out directly. Just now, facing the rolling thunder, Zhao Qiao immediately pounced on it. Then he quickly took out a teleportation talisman from his chest and threw it at the night god's head in the next second. Don't move. This is a teleportation talisman. It can only be used once. While saying that, he didn't forget to stick one on himself. No matter how good the open book is, can be more precious than life. But at this moment, an arc flashed by. The teleportation talisman was instantly burned to ashes, just as he closed his eyes and accepted his fate and thought he was going to die. The Shen no longer pretends. He reached out and held him in his arms, saying that you are the stupid one. Before the words were out, the accumulated thunderbolt struck the two of them hard. When the smoke cleared, there were screams from the scorched earth of the thunder. Seeing this, the initiator Wei Tianheng was not ashamed, but also very excited. If I can control the way of heaven, the thunder heaven and the book of heaven should belong to me. At this moment, Wei Tianheng, who was unprepared, was suddenly attacked by a stone. The unscathed Di Shen appeared in front of him again. Being able to evoke thunder, merchants are indeed not ordinary people. But have you heard? The cries from 100 meters around here are deafening. Just for a book of heavenly secrets, even human lives are worthless. Is it worth it? But Wei Tianheng, who was already insane, he didn't hesitate to gather power to attack again, completely disregarding the injured innocent people below. Seeing this, the Shen no longer hesitated. He instantly flashed to interrupt him, continued to cast spells. With his powerful physical strength exuded from the Shen, Wei Tianheng was easily blown away and killed. After all, the Book of Heaven originally belonged to him. Speaking of which, the heavenly book began to shine with dazzling golden light. While the golden light was generous, The true face of the Book of Heaven also appeared. "Old friend, long time no see. Come and help me first." The next second, he activated the Book of Heaven, the Xiuxianjie technique, and scattered endless life essence. Not only did the thunder stop, and injured audience are recovering rapidly. In this blessing from the sky, the Shen became ordinary again. Until he saw Xiaoqiao, who was still in a coma. He reached out to touch. He couldn't help but exclaim that it was so big. Although the heart is on the left side of the body, but there was no beating at all. He had no choice but to find a secluded place and give her first aid. But he didn't know that Xiaoqiao's heart grew on the right. She had already woken up, but before he could leave, he was noticed by curious survivors. Zhang Zikang was about to go up and make friends. He was interrupted by a cultivator running quickly from behind. "Aren't you the one who was supposed to meet Yudi? Why are you here now?" But after hearing the monk's report, he immediately became excited. The next second, he hurriedly shouted, "Yi, please stay," without waiting for the Shen to ask. He has already stepped forward and said, "You are the Wuji Demon Lord, invincible, and the invincible Demon Lord of the Four Seas?" Hearing this awkward and cheesy title, the Shen was instantly petrified. He subconsciously refused to admit it, but Zhang Zikang was quicker and knelt down with a plop. "I've long admired your name. I'm Zhang Zikang. My father is Zhang Kong."